Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the network.com. Are you ready to witness something you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize you're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find the trails that control.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle in a city called Fresno, California. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. I'm also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. Been investigating the paranormal going over 14 years, so I'm just not up here talking about it. I'm actually living it. I have a team. A couple of the members now are in the studio. One member is that Alan Thomas.
Hey everyone.
And another newest member of the team is sitting on the couch out there in the dark. Mr. Isaac, are you there? With the microphone.
How you doing?
There you go. So welcome everybody to Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time on the West Coast. Broadcasting HD quality video. If you're watching this right now, you can probably see the wrinkles on my face, maybe. Thank you for showing up on a Sunday evening, wherever you may be around the world. Again, we are broadcasting on 6 o'clock p.m. on West Coast time, Pacific time. If you miss us while we shoot live, you can always catch us on the rebound, either on live stream or on our Paranormal Central YouTube channel. We have several years of shows on there that if you want to lock yourself in a dark room one of these days, throw away the key, turn on YouTube, and just watch forever.
Except for last week's. But it'll be there tonight.
Right. Okay, well, again, thank you guys for showing up wherever you may be. I appreciate it. It's Sunday. I realize it's Sunday night. It's the day before school. A lot of you guys are now on vacation. Congratulations for all those teachers and students. Now you have a whole week to relax and just kick it. Lucky bastard. Lucky.
Danny just said that he's watching without any clothes.
How am I supposed to take that out of my brain now? How?
Oh, I had to say it, Danny. Sorry, buddy. I outed you.
It's, I know Danny, and I've never seen him naked, but now the vision is hurting my eyes. I'm gonna start crying. Okay. All right. I'm just visioning Danny right now with the Raider shirt and no pants.
Oh, man.
That's crazy stuff right there.
See, I had him in his Bigfoot underwear, but only,
in the pajamas, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Danny, you bastard. Why did you even say that for? Now I'm going to be laughing all day. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for showing up. Today, what are we going to have today? We are going to talk some Bigfoot. Why is it just Bigfoot? It's
been Bigfoot.
It's been Bigfoot. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Is because things are happening around us that have to do with Bigfoot. There are things going on out there around the United States that have to do with Bigfoot. And there is stuff that I think that you should be aware of. Books and movies and documentaries. And in one in particular, we're going to have the producer-director on tonight, Seth Breedlove. And he did the Legend of Boggy Creek Monster. He did a documentary on that.
And it's good, too.
And we're going to talk to him about that. And after that, then we'll talk some more about Bigfoot. And then we'll probably open the lines because all three of us in here have been basically gone all weekend. We got a call from somebody, A lot of people, they don't understand why how do we get all this stuff? And
That's really a good question.
And I'm going to tell you why. It's because I have, if you go on the internet and type in certain paranormal subjects and Central California or Fresno, my name comes up. And I've been doing this for 16 years. No, I take that back, 14 years. And I have a 24-hour hotline that's attached to the internet that when you type in Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens, whatever, my name comes up, and so does the phone number. And or it will take you to the website. And then so we get calls. All right? For years and years and years, people have been witnessing these paranormal things, and there hasn't been no internet, for a long time. So they just get to tell their friends, and sometimes they keep it to themselves. Now they want to tell somebody, and they want to, get more information on it, and they go on the internet and they type some stuff up, and it so happens my number comes up, so they call me. So I got a call. Actually, I got an email. And it was actually about a week and a half ago, too. Actually, it was a while ago. And we were sending emails back and forth. And what he was saying, it was very, hard to believe. And finally...
it was almost impossible to believe. And I was like,
So I had to... I emailed him back, and he emailed me back. And finally, he said something that... you have to understand, he didn't know about our show. He didn't know anything about us at all. He just went on the internet, typed in Bigfoot, and my name came up, and the phone number, and the email. I think he probably went to the website or whatever. But so he sent over some information to me, and which piqued my interest. So I got him on the phone, and everything else after that is history. But all that happened within the past 4 days. And I'm really not going to get into it right now because I could go on forever. But the reason why Isaac is here is Isaac is from the coast. He's been on a couple of trips with us, and he was going to be down here this weekend, and the phone call came in, and I said, you know what, let's all three of us go. And we did.
And we weren't expecting anything, though.
No, we weren't expecting anything.
We weren't expecting nothing.
The thing this guy was saying was just too far-fetched to even believe. And if you're listening, dude, you have to understand, I get a lot of calls from a lot of people. And it's you have to be careful. And because a lot of times, a lot of these calls that I get are people playing pranks, tricks.
Yep.
Yeah, and they just and it's a waste of my time. I'll be on the phone, they'll be telling me some stories, and I'll be on the phone for 10, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes when I'm working, and all of a sudden I can hear them start laughing. I'm
like, serious?
And then they're pulling my leg. So it's like, really, dude, I don't have time for this, And then so it's hard. You have to weed through a lot of these. But anyways...
There's over the years, there's been some good ones, man. I'm going to tell you right now. Make your hair stand on end. Make you not want to turn off your bedroom light at night. I mean, I'm not kidding. There's some...
yeah, it's
and
pretty cool.
Some of them we haven't never shared here.
Yeah. So,
good.
So there you go. Anyways, so we went out there Saturday morning. And we went out there Saturday night. And we went out there this morning, and something happened to us Saturday night. And I'm not going to say anything at this point because, like I said, we're going to get Seth on the line here on Skype in about 5 minutes, and I just don't want to
get into it.
Yeah.
Because we could go on about this.
Yeah. Let's just say that Bigfoots are no longer in the mountains.
Yeah. Officially now for reals. We've been saying it for a long time.
And people have been telling us stories where we know they're not pulling our chain because many people along this certain river are now calling in. And last night we saw something. And we're going to tell you about that after we talk to Seth. And it is so damn close to where we live.
That's the part I like.
And we don't have to go to the mountains anymore.
Like it's like a 3-hour tour just to get to the usual spots.
Right.
But this time, like you didn't even eat your Egg McMuffin.
Barely had
and
enough
you're
time to
pulling
eat it.
into the place,
Yeah.
right?
So, yeah, you know, a lot of things happened when you're asleep.
Yes.
This is when it all happens, you guys. When we are dreaming under our covers in our nice warm bed at night, there's a whole other life that comes out during the nighttime. You may think that your animals are disappearing because of wild animals, coyotes, mountain lions, but I'm thinking that's not the case anymore.
Cuckoo.
So we're gonna get into that after we talk to Seth here in a little bit. But otherwise, you know what we're gonna do is after we talk to Seth, we're going to have open lines. Since it's the holidays, Heidi is not going to be with us tonight or next week. So and again, I didn't really prepare a lot tonight because, like I said, we were not home all weekend. I might just be calling tomorrow sick, boss, because I need to catch up on my sleep. But it's like I just got up about an hour and a half ago from taking a 2-hour nap because it's like we were walking, hiking, you know, doing what investigators do. And that's what we are, investigators here. We're just not up here in front of the mic, you guys. We're actual investigators. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time.
Well, I know one thing. You guys went into his place that I wouldn't have went. Like, I mean, I'll leave it there, but like, man, it was scary.
Well,
And
last night...
you guys went right in the night. That's what I'm talking about. Even in the day, it was scary. I mean, I was looking in there with my binoculars, like, and you guys kept going deeper into this dark forest. I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's going to eat you. Yeah. They're not coming out alive. You know.
And the guy that was with it would not go in there.
No, he wouldn't at all, you know. He had me scared too. You know, I was back there behind him, you know. Like if it comes out, it's going to get him first.
Well, I had the wooden bat, like if that's going to do any good. But you know, you sometimes you have to do what you have to do to get the stuff, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, people are tripping. People don't understand and don't get it. Why we get so much stuff? It's because
they go in the place to go get it, man.
Well,
I'm tell
not
you right
only that,
now,
but you know, we build up a name.
Yeah,
now.
true.
We have, and people know who we are in the central part of California now, all over the place, all over the world as well.
Yeah,
So-
it's getting weird. I mean, like you're driving down the street and you see people whipping out their cell phones to take pictures of you while you're sitting at the stoplight, and you're like,
Yeah,
it gets weird.
It's pretty weird. It's pretty crazy, and people are now knowing me. And what's cool too is we'll talk about that later. But you know, about our show in next year on TV, and we'll talk about that as well. So you know what? Let's go ahead and let's get Seth on. So we'll go ahead and get Seth on, and let's talk some Bigfoot. Some Bigfoot. Talk about Bigfoot. Apparently a lot of people like Bigfoot. I don't know why. What is it with you guys? Oops. So what is it? Why so much? Why Bigfoot? Why are you guys all into Bigfoot?
Hi, Seth.
Hey, Seth, you there?
I'll turn on our camera so you can see us a little bit.
Okay, let me...
At least you can see me.
How you doing?
Real good, man. Hey, the video was good, too. I got to tell you,
Cool.
like, straight up really quick. It was good.
Right on. How's it going, Seth?
Pretty good. How about you?
We're doing good, dude.
Good.
Right on. Okay, everybody meet Seth. Mr. Boggy Creek Man, we're gonna call you. So how's it going? Man, you're a busy dude, aren't you?
Yeah. We're at 3 movies in like a year and a half, so it's a little hectic. A lot of travel. I've been to like 16, 17 different states in like the last 9-10 months, something like that.
Right.
So
Wow.
it's a little crazy.
Wow.
So when did we have him last time? About like at the start of this, when you started this?
It was when no, it was like last spring. It was when Beast of Whitehall was coming out,
Right,
which
that's
is
it. Yeah.
weirdly enough currently our biggest movie.
Really?
So, which was unexpected. Yeah, that was supposed to be our little like indie experimental
I got them
film.
switched.
Huh?
I got them switched with that one and this new one that just came out. Okay. Let's talk about that movie, the one you came on in springtime to promote. I heard I heard you pretty much kicking ass on that one.
Okay, so, yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't expected. It was like this little movie that cost. I mean, honestly, the cost of that movie was like $250 because it's basically what it took to get us to New York, and then what it took to stay in a cabin for a night and a half. And we shot the movie in about a day and a half, aside from some B-roll that I had shot on a previous trip. So, for the most part, that movie cost next to nothing. The crew was basically just myself and Brandon. I'm actually looking at a photo right now of like Brandon and I conducting an interview. So it was basically just Brandon and I, and then my dad went along to drive us down.
Yeah.
And then he ended up doing some lighting. Like we had him out there with like a reflector doing outdoor lighting and stuff. So the crew was on set crew was really just Brandon and myself. And then the post-production crew obviously expands a little bit. You get friends to help here and there on the post-production side of things. But even that was like very small scale for us. And yeah, the movie's been in the top 10 on Amazon's best-selling documentary list for 3 weeks now. It's at number 6 right now. It actually was at number 4 the other day, and it's been kicking Michael Moore's butt for about 3 weeks, which I'm pretty happy about. So
Man, that is cool, man.
So okay,
Congratulations.
so I heard that they contacted you and they're going to put you on the same page as the Big Boys movies.
Well, it's been there. It's been there for about a week, and honestly, it was there even before they contacted us.
Wow.
Because if a movie is in the top, if it's in the top of its genre on Amazon, it ends up showing up in the hot new releases category when you go to the actual Amazon Instant Video page. So it was on there. But it was just like one of those things where it would just scroll past. And yeah, now they have like a banner up for it, and it's bizarre because like Tarzan pops up, and then Independence Day, Resurgence, and then Us.
Wow.
And then like right after Us
That's
is like
awesome, dude. Are you kidding me? That's
yeah,
fucking
and then
awesome.
like right after Us is like Lights Out, and it's all these Hollywood, and even if it's not a Hollywood movie, it's like a big budget documentary or something, like something you would expect to actually cost more than $200 and some.
Dude, that freaking rocks, man.
That is.
Okay, now let's tell. And right now you're freaking people out. So tell everybody the name of the movie and what's about, and go. Let's push that movie again. Let's sell some more copies on Amazon. Let's move it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie's Beast of Whitehall, and it's our second movie. It's about the A-Bear incident that happened back in 1976 outside of Whitehall, New York, when these 8 members of law enforcement and 3 teenage kids encountered this upright walking, glowing, red-eyed creature in a field on a dark, kind of moonless night. Back in 1976, and you can watch it through Amazon. It's a 99-cent rental too, which might be why it's doing so well. It's just but it's also a short film. I mean, it was originally intended to be a 10-minute YouTube short that we were going to do as a Kickstarter bonus feature for people that backed Boggy Creek Monster. And then like once we got into editing on it, we're like, well, there's like at least a half-hour movie here, if not more. So we did, we just pushed it until we felt like we actually cut it. I mean, it could have been a 50 close to 50-minute movie, and I cut about 8 minutes out of it. I'm obsessed with cutting, so So length is a big deal for me, and that
That's
movie.
the guys
yeah,
we hate.
It's
Those
a
guys.
39-minute movie.
You know,
Yeah,
we hate the cutter guys.
Are you kicking yourself in the butt now that you cut some of that out? I mean,
No, because see, the thing about the movie is it's so small, and part of the reason it was so small is because it's really hard to get people in New York to talk about this incident, especially in Whitehall. So for us, it's a movie with basically 3 main interviews. That's it, 3 little interviews, and then there's kind of some ancillary interviews that come in. We have some news footage. We have a news interview with a guy who's dead now. We lost 3 of the main witnesses in this story. They passed away during the making of the movie, or like leading up to the making of the movie. So we lost a lot of our featured witnesses, people who would have really helped flesh the story out. So I think where we're at with like 39 minutes for what we had was probably perfect. And that's not to say, though, we couldn't turn around and go back and film an entire full-length movie, because there's a huge story there.
Yeah.
okay, I was going to have you come and interview us, but screw that.
You want a feature?
No. I mean, all these people are dying after you interview them. Maybe that's telling you guys something.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things where we've dealt with it now in all 3 of the movies we made. With Minerva Monster, we had lost some of the main witnesses kind of leading up to the making of that movie, and then there were people that were involved in the original Minerva case who had passed away or were ill during the shoot. With this story, and it's because all these stories take place in the 60s and 70s.
So they're all
these people
elderly then.
Yeah, they're getting older.
Yeah, okay.
And the same thing happened during the filming of Boggy Creek Monster, because we lost Smokey Crabtree right before the movie was supposed to film. So
Wow.
But we always try to pay respect to those people and try to get them into the film in some way. So with Boggy Creek, we were able to bring in Smokey through those audio interviews. And then with Beast of Whitehall, Bill Brand, who actually investigated the Aber case the day after it occurred back in 1976, had done all these cassette tape interviews with like the teenage kids and some of the cops, and we were the first people he ever gave access to that stuff, so we were able to include it in the film. So those people actually have a voice in our movie, which is kind of cool.
Cool.
I
Awesome.
thought it was cool. Like
Right on.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I bet you increased the people going like touristing over in Whitehall too. Campers.
I
everything,
think
you
so.
know?
They had their first ever Whitehall Sasquatch Festival this year. So
There you go.
and part of that had to do with us.
There you go. Awesome.
Increasing the economy.
That's right. Okay. Boggy Creek. Let me tell you something about this frickin' movie. I still have it. I have it. I remember watching it. The music itself was so vinyl 8-track tapey soundy, scratchy, redneck. Just it scared the crap out of me, dude, when I watched it when I was a kid. It was an awesome movie. I still have it. I still watch it, and it's
scary.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why I got involved in what I do now, is because of that, and in search of those kinds of documentaries and movies back then just was the bomb.
When I saw it at a drive-in, and it
Did you?
was like, oh yeah, double feature thing.
With that 1925
Yeah, it was somewhere back there. Yeah, and it was
Silent
scary, man.
movie.
Yeah,
silent movie.
The organ, the guy was cranking it behind the stage. Sorry.
but yeah,
That's fine,
yeah,
that's fine, that's cool.
It goes back that far. You know.
So what made you get it? Obviously the movie. I mean, it must have
Yeah.
intrigued you. And so tell everybody about the Boggy Creek.
Well, I was kind of shocked, when you sent us the link, and I was going to do a review on it. I just didn't know where to go to do it. But I was like, man, is that Lyle doing the talking?
Yeah.
And that, I was like, man, he's doing really good, and as it progressed into it, I mean, he killed it. I mean, I didn't think he had it in him to really kill it like that. I mean, he did a really good job. I mean, the whole thing's good, but Lyle really, he started it off, and it just rolled real smooth right on through, and it was really good.
It's good to have somebody who knows a lot about what the subject matter is.
Yeah.
When you have somebody who's into the movie, the subject matter. Not like you're bringing in somebody like Tom Hanks, do the
Right, yeah.
it's like he's getting paid to talk about that. Who cares, But when you have somebody who's into it, who's already been there,
Lives there.
when he starts to talk about it, you can feel the intense in his voice. It helps a lot.
That is what
Yeah.
I mean. That is what I was feeling too. Like I don't know. It was
knows.
so intimate, is what it felt
Well,
like.
Listen, with Lyle, so you guys are aware, like this is his baby. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Boggy Creek, the stories of Boggy Creek and
Yep.
that area, Falk is kind of his thing. And listen, I'm a pretty skeptical guy of other investigators, people who are into this subject. I'm usually like, well, why are you, what's the deal? What are you getting out of this? That sort of thing. The same way people are of me, probably. But with Lyle, I remember the first time I was down with him in Falk, I just asked him, I straight up asked him, I was like, so are you into this? Like, do you still geek out over this? Or is this kind of to the point where because you're selling the book and it's kind of become your business, is it a thing where you've lost a little bit of that? And man, the guy geeked out for like, probably 20 minutes in my car about like Boggy Creek. I mean, he took me on a 3-hour driving tour last October before we were filming or anything, just showing me like all these spots and geeking out about the movie. And when you're talking about the way the narration and how you can tell he's invested in it, so he told me after he watched the finished film, he said, he's like, I really did get choked up. He's like, I actually cried at the end of the movie.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And this isn't that I don't believe Lyle, but I typically am like, he's probably just telling me that to pat me on the back or whatever, for editing a movie that he likes and directing the movie that he likes. But after we premiered it down in Falk last weekend, we got up to do the Q&A afterward, and he got all choked up again. He actually had to hand me the mic and let me talk after the movie ended because he was like, he started tearing up then.
Wow.
So like this is something that's like very personal, and the movie's taken hits from people for not being as much like our other movies where it's simply the witnesses and that sort of thing. And our problem is that the reason Lyle's in the film, all that kind of stuff, that was not Lyle. Lyle really didn't care one way or the other if he was in the movie, if he was just a talking head in the movie, if he narrated, he didn't care. It was up to us. And my reason for putting him in the film is we've got over a century's worth of sighting reports to try to condense into a 70 to 90 minute movie. We've got very few living witnesses from those early stories left. And then also Lyle is tied into that. So, and I knew that from going into it, and having him appear on camera and do the narration and all that, that was very much a conscious decision on my part to put him in the movie. And I think when you get to the end of the movie and he's walking around the Cersei house and he starts to talk about that story in a very personal context, like, why am I doing this? Even though I wrote that narration, I think that narration comes from a very personal place for him, because we talked about that sort of thing before. And I couldn't be more proud of the work he did on the movie, not just appearing in it, but the narration. And then it's funny because it's an indie film, so we're doing everything. Like at the end of the whole movie, it's really Brandon, me, and Lyle who were doing all the edited post-production, major post-production work. We had illustrators and people helping on all the other stuff, obviously, but the final movie is touched by us three. And Lyle was editing my narration, so I was writing the narration, and then he would edit it, and then he took it to the studio and recorded it, and he had to record all that narration with very little direction from me because I'm not there. I'm not in Texas.
Oh.
So it was basically a series of interviews or meetings back and forth where I'm like, make it personal. Don't ham it up. This is not a hammy. We don't need you to be Rod Serling, except in that very opening, the pre-credit sequence. I told him to go full on Rod Serling if he wanted to. But yeah, I honestly am so proud of the movie and the way it turned out, and it's the first time I think I've been that way about something I've done. film wise. At the end of it, I just felt like, okay, this is what we set out to do. We managed to tell all this history, and we talk about Charles Pierce and the original legend of Boggy Creek. We talk about the sightings that led up to that. We talk about how the sightings are still going on today, and we also kind of start trying to tie together some of the mysteries of the story while also explaining there's probably no way you're ever going to figure this out. Like this is a mystery that's going to go on probably forever unless someone hits one of these things with their car while driving around down there one night.
Right. And
they probably have done that and still got up and ran away.
And you're telling the way what you just said about Lyle, about him being choking up. There are when you say he geeked out, there are geeks out there. I consider myself to be a geek. Alan's a geek, and we have taken a lot of shit from people because of what we do. And I'm sure Lyle has probably taken a lot of shit from people as well. And what you did in this movie put him a little bit over the top, saying thank you. This is helping me because of all the stuff that we have been through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're adults, man. I'm married with children. I have a freaking major job. And on the side, I do this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's embarrassing to tell people what I do, but it's because of the love of what we do keeps us going. And the thrill
of the chase.
Right. And Lyle, finally, it was a relief probably to him to see all this coming. You know what I'm saying? And he finally felt it, and it's like, oh, thank you for doing this for me. And I think Lyle felt it big time. That's why he did that. He started to choke up. Because I feel that sometimes too. I haven't been to the point where, one of these days I think that will happen. Finally, I'm not embarrassed anymore. I'm not embarrassed right now as it is. No way. But I know where Lyle's at. And I can definitely tell you what he was feeling at that point.
Well, he was surprising me. Like when I first heard it, I thought, man, we met him way back in 2012 in Sacramento, and I got to hang out with him a little bit and stuff, and so his voice was a little, I heard his voice.
He was
before.
He was on a show a couple of years ago too.
Yeah,
promoting
but only I wasn't for sure, when it came on and it was smooth and articulate. Then he went ahead and he told the story and it was like the old grandpa telling the story. You know what I mean? It was it was drawing me right into it. And I was like, dang, man, he's funny. Good.
It's cool you put it in that way about grandpa telling a story, because the movie is really about that tale telling,
right.
the stories that are told, and there's a lot of subtext in the movie that I didn't intentionally put there, but if you watch it with that in mind, it really is there's these stories that are told, these legends, dating back to the 1800s about this creature and people seeing this creature, and that's what makes up the bulk of this movie. But there's those people in there as well who actually saw it, who get to speak for themselves, and when you see the reality behind how that affects them, I think it can change your outlook on Bigfoot, on these Falk monster stories as well. And then you've also got all the stuff with Smokey Crabtree and his sons and Charles Pierce and his family. And it's weird too to me, because when we started making this, I was very concerned about how I was going to lock onto this story, because Jeffrey asked me how I got involved with this. And for me, it was actually not because of the original Legend of Boggy Creek. I read Lyle's book,
right.
Beast of Boggy Creek, before I had seen the movie. And then because the book kind of drew me in, I wanted to check out the movie. I watched the movie. And then at that point, I kind of started to realize there's a lot to that movie that maybe people who just either grew up watching that movie or just see it as a hokey B movie now probably don't get or appreciate like I do. But I love the the indie aesthetic of the whole thing, like the independent film aesthetic of this guy going out, getting $100,000 and shooting the stupid movie for himself. And because that's what we do, like we don't screw around. You get the money. Why beg people for money? Try to get investors and all that stuff. Just get the money together that you can and go do what you can with what you can. And I think it's actually, I believe it's a beautiful movie. I really do. The original Legend of Boggy Creek. I think the cinematography is amazing. I love the fact that you never really see the monster, and I understand that mostly is because the monster costume was probably not the best.
Right.
But it's impressive to me that Pierce understood that fact and kept it in shadow, because it reminds me of what Spielberg did with Jaws a few years later.
Exactly. That's where I was going. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the movies from back then, even like, some of the TV shows, you never saw the monster, but you were scared shitless, by the end of the show.
Right, exactly.
I mean, what was it? Outer Limits, man. That used to just scare the doo-waddlins out of me.
Sissy.
And I never saw it. You never see the monster. Every once in a while, like maybe when he was on the plane with William Shatner and he was ripping the engine out,
Yeah.
But
Right on. So, all right. So this movie just came out, what, a week ago?
Yeah, last Friday.
Last Friday, right? Okay, so where can people get this movie? And I mean, fill us in, man, because there's a lot of people are going, all right, shut up, Jeff.
no.
It's on Amazon Instant Video. So if you get on Amazon, you can stream it through there. DVDs are through shop.smalltownmonsters.com, or they're available through Lyle's website, which I'm not even sure what the URL is for that. I'm gonna have to grab that, but he posted them on there too. And then there's people selling like signed copies on eBay too. So,
Really?
so apparently that's a thing. So, you can grab a
I
copy
was
on
going to
there.
say, is it your signature?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
$4,000.
Yeah, $7,000
Yeah.
signed Boggy Creek Monster.
Dude, just sell one of those. You could do your next movie.
Really, huh?
I wish that's how we're gonna fund it. But Vimeo on demand. Actually, the cool thing about Vimeo on demand is if you want an actual downloadable copy of the movie in MP4, Vimeo on demand is the best way to do that, because you can buy it and then you can download the actual copy and own it for yourself in that way.
Okay.
The best thing about the DVD is we did cram almost 2 hours of bonus content on that DVD. So
Holy smokes.
there's a making of, there's like a 45-minute making of documentary, and then we actually took a guy down to Falk with us when we went to film specifically to shoot behind the scenes footage. So we took all that footage. There's about 8 hours of behind the scenes footage, and we cut these little, he actually was doing this at the end of every day while we were down there. He cut these little 5 to 10 minute production diaries at the end of each day. So you're actually able to watch kind of day by day what went on down there, which to some people might be incredibly boring, but it's kind of cool to watch, what it's like to be in these locations, like the Smokey Crabtree's property. We're the first people to film there since Charles Pierce shot The Legend of Boggy Creek. We're the first people allowed on that property to shoot. Okay. So,
Wow.
The production diaries kind of take you behind the scenes and all that stuff.
Okay.
So,
all right.
That's epic, dude.
Yeah.
Going
Okay.
on there like you're the first one back from all those years.
This is what I want to do.
Wow.
We have a lot of people who watch this show all over the world, and the Whitehall movie is, you said 99 cents, right?
Yep.
Okay, in Amazon. I want to be an Oprah Winfrey here. All right, the book club. I mean, I know we've done it before. There's a couple of times we've actually done this before, and it actually works.
Yeah.
So all of you guys out there, it's only a freaking $1 on Amazon. It doesn't take very much to push it up, to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. If we can get 1,000 or a couple of thousand people to buy this within the next week, it will move up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It will move up easily.
Yeah.
All right.
If you don't want to spend any money at all, our first movie, Minerva Monster's, free through Amazon Prime. So.
Well, no. Let's spend $1.
That'll move him up too, though.
Okay.
It'll move his.
Will it? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
him, his
okay.
account.
We'll get 2 for the price of 1 then. All right. All right. Okay, $1, a freaking 99 cents. I want all you guys who watch this show to go out to Amazon, even right now if you got, after the show, and spend $1. All right, I'm serious. Even 500 people, if 100 people or 200 people, 300 people bought it tonight or tomorrow, or 500 people, it's going to move up. And I want Seth to text me and say, "Dude, it moved up one notch." I'm going to go, "Yes." Screw.
I'm going to track it. It's at 6 right now, so we'll see where it goes.
Screw Oprah Winfrey. We can do it. All right. So seriously, guys, if you guys don't want me to say this is going to be our last show, then you guys need to go and spend 99 cents. All right, you guys make me proud. I want to move this frickin' thing up to 5 or 4. See if we can do it. All right. Now, the Boggy Creek. Why not? Now, where's this one? Where can people buy this one?
It's same places. It's on Amazon. It's at like number 8, I think, on Amazon's bestseller list right now. So it's like right behind Whitehall.
Okay.
So Amazon, Vimeo, shop.smalltownmonsters.com.
Okay, but will that get you moving up on Amazon?
Oh yeah. I mean, not if you buy the DVD through our website, but if you go to Amazon and pick it up off there, yeah, that'll move it up. It's been moving up pretty steadily since it came out. It started at like 75 on the best-selling list, and now it's just like slowly making its way up.
And how much is it through Amazon?
I think it's $2.99 or $1.99.
Come on,
I'm not 100% sure.
That's nothing, dude. Less than $5, you can get 3 movies, 2 and 1 free. So come on, you guys, let's do this.
No kidding.
Seriously,
huh?
I'm serious. Let's move this thing.
I'm gonna tell you right now, like for reals, the Boggy Creek one is good. I mean, really good. When they get done, it'll be like they know more about Boggy Creek than they ever.
And you know what? There's a lot of millennials guys, people out there who don't know about, because they weren't born in the 70s,
right?
You know, and they're born in the 80s and the 90s, and they're into this stuff. And Boggy Creek, they know a little bit about. Well, this will update you. All right, trust me.
Well, I really wasn't sure if it was a real story, and I even read the book. And I a lot of it I thought, you know how people put stuff, to make it dramatize it a little bit. So I didn't know how much was actually real deal or added for benefit.
Yeah.
But after watching that, and then you hear the people talking about the actual sheriff and seeing the people talk about like what came through their window and all this stuff, it was like, whoa. I mean, this really did happen. It was a real event and continuing, like you said. I mean, it's a good freaking movie. I mean, good.
Well, I mean, it is continuing too. It's like crazy. When we were down there, and I don't think the line, it might be in the movie, but the sheriff told us he took sighting reports from Falk locals and out-of-towners alike every 3 weeks for 38 years.
Jeez,
that was the frequency that they were coming in. I mean, you can't walk into a general store down at Falk and without someone telling you about their sighting within like 5 minutes of walking in. It happened to us last weekend when we were down there. We walked into the Monster Mart, and within like 2 minutes of being in the Monster Mart, this guy who's a physical therapist down there started telling us about something bipedal tracking him through his deer lease. And this guy is, he's no joke. He's not clowning us. He's just the most serious, level-headed kind of guy. And but that's how it is down there, because everyone knows someone, or everyone is related to someone who claims to have seen something
or seen it.
Yeah, or they've seen it themselves. Yeah.
So what do we think this? I mean, we do a lot of Bigfoot investigating on this side, and we know there's a lot of Bigfoots now.
My legs and feet are hurting right now.
Oh, dude, we were all over the Bigfoot this weekend.
Yeah,
now, so the Boggy Creek is it one? Is it more than one? I mean.
Well, I mean, it's got to be,
multiples, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the descriptions are so varied too. Even in the film, I mean, we tried to get that across with the juvenile reports and the different descriptions. There's a part at the end of the movie where we kind of go through the general descriptions of the creature. For the most part, what people are describing is like a gorilla. That weighs 600 or 700 pounds and is 8 feet tall and walks on its hind legs.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, that makes sense. Okay. All right. So, let's move this thing up on Amazon, guys. Seriously. All right. The Beast of Whitehall. Don't laugh over there. We're gonna do this.
No, I believe you. I believe you. Let's do it.
All right, we're going to move it up on Amazon. So everybody go spend 99 cents on The Beast of Whitehall and The Boggy Creek Monster, The Truth Behind the Legend. All right, go and support these guys so they can go out and record and film some more stuff. So what's next on your agenda?
We are doing pre-production on a Mothman movie, and I think that's what we would like to try to make next is Mothman. Our next 2 or 3, we're going to try to get away from Bigfoot type creatures and get more towards cryptid and bizarre and unusual kind of monsters. The goal currently is to try, I don't know if this will happen because I'm having a baby this year, but actually in 2017 I'm having a baby, but
you look pretty good. You look pretty good for having a baby.
I know, man. I know. I'm only a few months, so I'll start showing here soon. No, we're trying to get 2 done in 2017. We got 2 done in 2016. One of them was a feature, and I think it's totally doable for us since we work fast and we work pretty hard. So what we'd like to do is probably a lake monster and then a Mothman movie, and then actually we're also working on a guidebook. This is something that my friend Mark Matsky and I have just started kind of kicking around, and it was something we've wanted to do for a long time. And originally Small Town Monsters began its life as a book proposal, so we kind of want to go back to that and do kind of a Small Town Monsters guidebook and take you through some of these cases and actually, kind of in book form. And I think it'll be kind of a crazy year. I think 2017 will be crazy for us.
No kidding.
But yeah, if people do go on Amazon and they rent the movies and they like the movies, leave a review, because that is huge for us, especially to balance out the trolls that show up on Amazon reviews and hit you. Beast of Whitehall is actually doing pretty good, considering it's got about 103 reviews and it's been viewed 70,000 times. It's doing fairly well on there. So, but either of those movies, if you do rent them, leave us a positive review.
Absolutely. I hate trolls. Yeah, we get trolled.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the way it is. I mean, if you were not getting trolled, then you're not doing something right.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I just said today too, actually.
That's exactly the way it works, man, in this field. So you're doing really well.
Cool.
So, all right, anything else you want to push?
No, man, I think that's it. Just Small Town Monsters. We're out there. We're going to keep doing this.
Well, you'll have to come out this way and do one of our monsters. That
you know what? I mean, I know you guys are. Where are you guys at? You're like,
we're in Fresno, California.
Okay, Fresno. See, we want to get up. I do want to get up to like the PNW and hit. At some point, I would love to do the Patterson Gimlin kind of story. I just don't know if we'll get to it. It's hard to say.
Okay.
Get in there before Bob Gimlin is gone.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. We just secured 26 episodes on the CW network here in California, and hopefully we're going to go national. I need to talk to you. Maybe we can get you and Lyle to come down and be on the show and promote all this, and we need to work something out, dude.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We'd love to.
All right. Right on, Seth. Thank you very much for coming on, dude.
Thank you, sir.
And let me know if anything happens on the Amazon list.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Tell Lyle I said hi and congrats on a good job.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
And I can see you next year running around the woods with the baby on your back.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Baby's going to hold my camera.
Right on, dude. All right, Seth. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Good night,
guys.
Okay.
sir.
See ya, man.
Bye.
All right. That was Seth.
That was good.
Right on. So yeah, you know what? I need to start lining up some guests here for the TV show, and we need to get both of them down here. Hopefully, we can work something out. I need to find out where he's at. I didn't even ask him.
There, he's like Texas. Is that where? No, I think he's East Coast, and I think
he is East
Lyle's,
Coast. He's
Texas.
You're right. He is East Coast because he was.
But I know Lyle comes out this way because we've seen him out here. You know, I don't know how who got him out here, but
right. So we'll have to talk and we'll have to figure out what we can do. So all right. Go to Amazon, The Beast of Whitehall, Let's go ahead and rent that, guys, for 99 cents or purchase it. Let's move
then-
it up on. You guys have to understand, we've actually done that several times to other people's books and movies here.
And they go up.
And they move up.
yeah.
After the show, about a week later, it's, dude, they call me and they're, oh my God, we moved up. I mean, literally way up there.
Danny has it on all 3 links on the Facebook page right now.
Okay.
So on Paranormal
Central Facebook page, if 100 people could go and buy that tonight, that would be awesome. I would really appreciate it, you guys. The legend, do the legend, the Beast of Whitehall first, because that's the one we want to move up. It's at number 6. Let's see if we can move it up to number 4. All right. Rock on. All right, let's tell you what happened this weekend, where we were at, why Alan is like all, my legs hurt, and me waking up from a nap. And did you go home take a nap? Yes. Yes, you did too.
I almost slept through this.
Really?
If my wife wouldn't have woke me up, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I was on the couch out for a couple hours. So, all right, we got a call. I got a call. I got an email first. You guys know that the central part of California is the breadbasket of the world.
Yep.
We grow everything here. Everything.
For the world.
Literally, for the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they have oranges and peaches and stuff.
Nectarines,
that
apricots,
sell in Japan
figs,
for $15
grapes,
a pound.
grapes galore, grapefruits, oranges, tangerines. We do it all here. Lemons,
nuts.
we do it all. Yeah, no, and
yeah, I know. Yeah, nuts. Almonds.
Oh,
and
thank you.
pistachios.
Yeah,
and
yes,
walnuts
cherries.
and
We have it all here.
cherries.
All right.
Yeah. My favorite stuff. All
Yeah.
in one place.
And so these grow near the foothills
Yeah.
of the Sierras, guys. It's not far at all. Literally, when you come down on the foothills, bang, there are the oranges. It's all there. You guys know, if you guys have been watching this show for a couple of years now, at least, that we had many reports around Avocado Lake.
Yep.
And several, mind you, several reports. So these people who have called me don't know each other, but yet they live within a 2-mile radius. They don't know each other, but yet they have seen creatures, and all of them seem to identify them to a T, meaning quantity, how many, how tall, how small, more than one.
It's that,
All right.
like at least 3 of them they describe the same 5
Yep.
to the T. Like Keith
and that dude.
and that dude. Oh, so 2 of them.
So two, but
Two of them.
the kids who witnessed that other Bigfoot,
Right, yeah. They were right there.
around the corner.
Yeah.
Around the corner from that 5.
And it was probably the 5 living
Okay.
in there, and they only saw 1.
There you go. Yep. So we're talking north side of Sanger. So I get a call. Let's just say this call is going to come. Should we? Hold on. Okay, we're going to tell you what river this is. It's the Kings River.
I mean, you always already said Avocado Lake, so that puts it at the Kings River.
Okay, Kings River, guys. But I'm going to keep it at that. I'm not going to tell you where. The Kings River goes for a long time, for a long ways.
Yeah.
All right. So we went to this location. We met with the person who called me.
It was like had a housing. There was houses.
Yeah.
Like right there, and this dude lives in this housing development. I mean, like,
But
in a neighborhood.
in back of that, to the side, you have the Kings River. You
Yeah.
have nectarine trees, right? Okay. So we go there. We listen to him.
And we're like,
What?
I don't know.
What? How many? What?
Yeah.
And, you guys have to understand, it takes a lot, and I mean a lot, to get me excited and a lot to convince me. All right? That's me. Matter of fact, I was at a party on Friday night, retirement party for somebody. my supervisor was there with his wife, and we were talking a little bit, and she told me, "Do you believe in ghosts?" And I'm going, "Well, I've never seen one yet, so I cannot prove to you that they're real, you know." And she looked at me and she goes, "What?" I'm going, "Yeah, I mean, until I see one, like if."
Well, everybody knows that when we turn the camera on, the ghosts come out.
Yeah. That's the way it is on reality shows, man. You know, it's like, do I believe in aliens? No. Until one lands right in front of me and gets out and then comes up to me and goes, boop, or something, then I'll believe it. I've never seen an alien, so at this point in time, I can't tell you that they're real. Other people have witnessed that over there. What they are, at this point in time, no. This guy here behind me, I want to say I'm about 99.2% that they are real.
I think he saw it twice already.
Yeah.
Just in the last few months, too.
Let me tell you something.
And I didn't see it. I mean, I stayed at the car.
Okay, this is what happened, guys. Yesterday morning, we went, all three of us, we went out to this guy's house, and we listened to him. We walked out into the field where these trees are at. We walked around. He's telling us these stories, which at that point in time, I'm trying to comprehend all this and to see where this guy is going. It's the stuff that he's saying. It's hard to believe. All right, so I couldn't. He was saying there was a lot of them. They come up to his house. They tap his window of his house.
There was one thing about him that was common with a lot of the reports, especially a couple of them, where, like that one guy we met in Me and Ed's.
Right. Okay.
The guy was crying.
Yes.
Right? I mean, he was shedding tears. He was scared.
Not this weekend. This was the previous.
No, previous one.
Right.
But only now when we were walking out there with this kid or this gentleman, he was like, there was a couple times that he was nearly at tears when you guys went down in that place that I said I wouldn't go in.
Right.
I thought he was gonna cry. I was like, man, go down there with him, 'cause I couldn't crawl down there like that.
Right.
There's no way for me. But I'm like, go get in there, he started backing up, bumped me over, he's like, he was not gonna get anywhere near it. And then I started backing up because he was doing that.
Right.
I'm like, I believe him. Something's in there. I'm backing up.
He said something growled at him when he went in there by himself one time, and it scared the out of him, so he backed out. So Isaac and myself, we went in there and we're looking around. It's a whole. It's like when you go into an underground. You see the movies when you go into an underground facility and all of a sudden, what? Like another city underground. This is what it looked like. You would never know.
It was like a little hole in the bushes, and then you go in there, and then there's a whole nother world.
Whole nother world in there. And anybody could be in there and hide in there, and you would never know in a million years.
Because it was dark in there.
And it was like dark. Trippy. Like very, very trippy. So, nothing happened to us in there. It's very cool, eerie looking, moss hanging down and, something you would see in the Louisiana swamps. This is what that felt like near this Kings River. And so nothing happened. So we got out and we started walking back and we went back to the car and I said, you know what, we need to come back. And he says that what happens is a lot of times it happens at sunrise and at sunset when it's dark. So I said, okay, well, we're going to come back tonight. And so we went home and we came back about 5-ish and he wasn't there and he had to go someplace. So we decided, let's go to the actual river where the bridge is at, where people can get off and park their cars and look. And now you guys have to understand, I have a FLIR, FLIR, FLIR for my iPhone. I purchased this about 3 years ago. Right?
See, and at this point, so far, all we have still only is his word, because we didn't really find nothing.
Oh no, not at all.
Like when we went back, we were even discussing like, if we don't really find anything, then there might not be anything.
Right.
And I mean, we're at that point.
We have to be careful because a lot of people like to pull pranks on us, like to just be in the limelight. But what when I didn't tell you guys, is that he didn't want his identity to be known. He didn't want his name to be on the air. He didn't, just I don't want my name. Don't tell anybody who I am, where I live.
I didn't say it.
No. But that is also maybe we needed to think about that, because if somebody wanted to be in the limelight and all that, then it's like,
maybe it might be more fake.
Yeah. But this guy did not want any part of that. He was terrified.
He was terrified.
So
he was seeing Bigfoot. I mean, everything was a Bigfoot.
Okay, so
everything.
So what
I was like,
what I did, and I told Isaac to do is he brought like 4 bags of apples and right. Bananas and apples, and I purchased 2 bags and apples, and I went to Vaughn's and I purchased where'd you get the microphone? And I got 2 roasted chickens, that those preheated roasted chickens like at Vaughn's that you can buy. I purchased 2 of those, and a couple of bags of oranges, grapes. So Isaac and myself, we walked in there at 7 o'clock at night. It was pitch dark, okay, and we were like had all kinds of. I mean, it was a trek to the point A to point B. It wasn't like close. We had to walk into the orchard all the way across to the other side of the river. I was carrying so much freaking fruit, my arms were hurting, and they were like getting into the skin, and it was hard. And
I gotta admit, that was the hardest part.
Yeah, and one of your bags broke and everything fell out. Like, son of a. So here, like, we're like, walking for a long time, and it was hurting. And so we got to one of the points near that hole that you talked about, and I had a big spotlight, candle power spotlight. It was about this big, and I lit it up, and every time we're walking, I turn it on a little bit, do this, and
because it's real thick right there,
and then like turn it on again, make sure no one's trying to sneak up on us. I have to admit it was pretty spooky. All I had was a freaking wooden bat. I didn't have any guns on or knives or anything, just a freaking wooden bat and some bananas. So I could go freeze, but that wouldn't work. So we came to
throw the banana and run.
We finally came to a location where the hill downwards wasn't that steep, and so we said, okay, that's as good a place as any. So we started walking in, and one of us fell, and all the food went down, blah, blah, whatever. But then But I took a picture. We just piled up everything, and I took the roasted chicken. I left it in the bottom of the plastic, and I left everything there. Nothing. We didn't hear anything. We just got the hell out of there fast, and we trekked back, and that was it. And then so at that point in time, I said, well, let's drive around and let's just look. And I said, okay, cool. So we all did. We got in my truck, and I drove around, and right around before we go to this bridge, there was like a little area where you can park, and we go down a little ways. It was hard for Alan to walk down these rocks, and it was dark, so he didn't want to try it with the cane and trip and fall and end up breaking something. So I had my floor on my iPhone, and Isaac and myself walked down to the edge of the river. A lot of trees. It's dark, you guys, so we really couldn't see anything. I turned on the spotlight, but still, it was 100 yards away from anything. It was hard. It's still dark. But when we were up there, you guys started hearing stuff.
Yeah.
In the bushes. Like.
Yeah, before you guys went down to that.
It was another spot.
We were at another spot. But it wasn't far.
Right.
But I'm for sure was hearing, like, bipedal walking.
Okay.
Is what I was hearing.
And I didn't hear anything only because my hearing is shot. And you heard.
I heard a lot of shuffling going on inside the
it sounded
area.
like bipedal, too.
Oh, yeah. Like it was just moving.
Okay. So at that time, I got my floor out, and I started, doing a swipe like this. And the floor was working great. I mean, I could, walk pretty far away and look at these guys, and they would light up in the cold or the heat section, and the floor was working fine, and I didn't see anything. So we got back in the truck, and we moved over a little bit more to another area where we parked, and we walked down. At that time, Alan couldn't walk down that one, and he stayed back, and then Isaac and I went down there. And Isaac, I was to the right, and Isaac was to the left. And Isaac had a couple of rocks because Alan had told him, why don't you screw around and hit the rocks together and see if you get anything. And so he was out there going, tick, 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 tick. And I was about 30, 40 feet north of him. And then he comes over. He goes, Jeff, come here. I hear something. I'm going, okay. So I follow him. And he's doing the rock. I don't hear anything. And then I get the floor and I start sweeping like this. And then all of a sudden, Isaac is right behind me because, he's looking at the screen on my phone. And all of a sudden we see it. I go, there he goes. And I do this. Boom. And I lose him behind this tree. And I went like this. And then all of a sudden I start running and I can't see where I'm running. And these branches with not needles, but just thorns
Some
on
of
them.
they had big thorns.
Yeah,
Was just
too,
hitting me
Yeah.
solid and hit my hand, and I felt my hand burn. And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna pay for that one." And I ran around to go around this tree, thinking that this thing ran behind this tree because we couldn't tell the depth perception of
Right.
what we were at because it was so freaking dark.
It was pitch black.
It was pitch black.
No moonlight at all.
And then I got my flare out and I went started to do this and I didn't see anything, so I ran back, and we stood in the same place, and we didn't see it. But what Isaac and myself saw, this thing running from left to right, and I followed it. And then there was this tree. We could tell it was a tree because it was dark, and we thought the thing ran behind the tree. So again, the depth perception, it wasn't all there. Everything is so pitch black. But what Isaac and myself saw,
Because they thought it was close to him.
yes, we thought it was close. Because again, we don't know how far the river is or whatever. But this thing was running. We saw the head, we saw the arms, we saw the legs. It was bipedal, and this is what it did. And it was gone. And I'm going, okay. Then I got the spotlight and I shine. He goes, it's right there. But I turned on the spotlight down below, and at the edge of the river is where all of the bushes and the shrubs come up. And it's like, wait a minute. We didn't
wasn't
hear.
running
It
there.
wasn't running there because we would have heard all of that. And then I hit the spotlight and I said, holy crap. This thing was running on the sand dunes in the middle of the river, or on the other side of the river is where we saw this thing running. Then I stopped for a minute and I said, wait a minute. If that's the case, so what happened? And then at the end of that sand dune, whatever, that's what I'm calling it, sand dune, whatever, there's in the middle of the river is where the trees and the bushes go. So it ran into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going,
And it ran in like over 100 yards.
and
it
it ran
this fast.
It like this.
Yeah.
It's gone. And then I started running, and that's when I cut. I at this time my hand's burning. I'm not even worried about my hand right now, and because Isaac and myself just saw something running. So this is where I start debunking, because it takes
Man, did he debunk?
it takes a lot to convince me of something paranormal. If something happens to me that's paranormal, oh, you bet your ass I'm going to debunk it. Because this stuff doesn't happen to us. But it does, but you just have to say, did that just happen? All right? So I said, okay, sometimes there are items out there that can relate heat or cold, like the tree that we saw. Remember, it was feeding off cold, I think, or heat or something. And I was going, "What is that weird? Look at that!" And this is where we left the food at, and it was tripping because I was showing you. Remember, Isaac?
It was glowing.
It was glowing.
It was definitely
It was
glowing.
either
The tree
hot
was
or
glowing.
cold. This
Right.
particular tree. I'm saying that's awesome. So we went back where we saw this thing running, and I'm going, okay. Was it a leaf or a branch in front of this thing that was causing the heat or the coldness of what was registering? And I went back, and there was no registration of anything at all. And then I again, okay, was it because of where this place is at? Was it a person? You guys have to understand, it's pitch black out there. I couldn't put my hand in front of me. You couldn't even see your hand. So,
Whatever it was running in the pitch black down in the river bottom.
but then a lot of you guys are gonna say, okay, so it was somebody running and hiding. You can't. I couldn't. anybody way out there in the dark couldn't even see us.
Right.
Or I couldn't see them. If I didn't have the FLIR, we would have never seen her or seen it at all. Now, so what if it was a person? Why would they be running away to try to hide from us?
Especially if they know you can't see them.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so black they can't see you.
Right.
So how are you going to see them?
Right. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to use Lauren Coldman's theory. Was it a homeless person? No, because the way this thing moved from left to right and how fast it did it, and it was on sand. Finally realized.
I don't think a homeless person's going to be running out there. Definitely not out there in the middle of the night.
Okay. So until we realized, wait a minute, what Isaac and I saw was 100 yards away from us. It wasn't right there. It was 100 yards away. But the thing picked it up on my phone because it was very, very large. Big.
And it ran over 100 yards in the sand. And like when I was out there talking to this guy,
it was like,
this guy was like,
gone.
when I said, yeah, this thing ran, you know, I was trying to be vague at first because I didn't want to tell him what we were doing. But he's like, so you're wearing a Bigfoot shirt.
Okay, so
and the other guy has binoculars.
Okay, now you guys have to understand. We went back out there this morning, so this was not last night. We didn't talk to anybody last night. This was this morning because we thought
maybe we could find a track
or footprints or something. So last night, so Isaac and I are freaking out right now. Alan is on top. He has no idea what just happened.
No idea. All I can see is lights moving all around and the flash going everywhere.
So we go back up, and I'm telling him, dude, we just saw him. We just saw it. And it takes a lot for me to say that. I would have said we saw something, but I tried debunking it in the 10 minutes that I was down there after the incident occurred. What did we just see? Because of the speed of this thing from left to right, and it wasn't right there. It was about 75 to 100 yards away. And when I go up there to tell Alan, I get the spotlight and I put it on my hand, and there's blood all over the top of my hand. It's like I'm bleeding. Because what happens when I was running, the thorns got me on my hand and just scratched me, and there's blood. I'm going, holy crap. And then it started to sting. When you see the wounds, I'm going, ah! So I go get napkins and wipe it off. But we saw something last night, and it had to have been a Bigfoot. There's no other thing that could be where we were at. How fast this thing moved on the sand.
Yeah, on the sand.
From left to right, how far it was, because it registered on my FLIR. The heat, it picked it up.
And, the thing that got me, the one that I very first saw, disappeared behind a tree, and it used the tree like cover. Now, you can't see the tree, but it could see you and the tree. And it knew you were watching it.
Well,
then it used the tree. Once it got behind the tree, then it really made its disappearance, and you didn't see it again.
No, I didn't, because I thought it went around the tree, and that's when I moved a little bit with my FLIR, and I didn't see it anymore. But you guys,
it headed straight for the bushes.
We saw a bipedal something running. I mean, we saw the head. We saw a person running extremely freaking fast. Very big, that registered on my FLIR.
From a far distance. And there was no reason this thing should have been running in the first place.
Right. If it was a homeless guy, he would say, I hear voices, who gives a shit, I'm going to go and just go, I'm going to walk over here. So, on our route back, at that point in time, I said, so this thing was running on the sand. And I said, maybe there's footprints. And we said, oh crap, because we didn't even think about that. We weren't even thinking about that. We were thinking, what did we just see? I was still trying to debunk it on the way back home. I mean, I'm going to debunk this. I'm going to debunk this. What we just saw shouldn't have happened. But you guys have to understand, we are there because we got a call about possible Sasquatch activity in this area. So you have to take that all into consideration. And what just happened, a human being could not have ran that far of a distance on the sand in such short of a time. This morning, when we went over there, we started walking. It was a pain in the ass to walk in the sand.
I vouch for that.
Okay?
It was.
We walked and walked. It's like, oh my God, my calves are starting to hurt. When we got to the edge of the river, we're looking around, and we start to find footprints. But you guys have to understand, this is the Kings River. There are people where we were at. There were human beings, let's just say. But a person could not run that fast on the sand. And that thing was big. Whatever it was big, and it registered big on my FLIR. So maybe this guy is telling the truth. Maybe there is what we have always thought to be. Now, well,
we're getting more and more people calling us about it, and now we're closing in on it. You know what I mean? Like where it actually could hide, there's probably like 5 miles of river that this thing could be in.
Right.
I mean, it's huge. I was Google Earthing it, and then I didn't even get the whole feel of the Google Earth. It's like, it looks like something could hide in there. But then when we were down in it, and you realized it was a magical forest, you know what I mean? Like there was a complete, like when you guys went down in there, and then I was at the, in the entrance of it. I wasn't going to climb all that junk to get down there. But I could see the trails going off everywhere in little rooms. Like, I mean, it was like a magical world in there, and it was all covered, like
and
everything. It was neat.
I didn't take any video of that. I'm gonna, the next time we go, I'm gonna take video of that.
I have video of it. It's on the GoPro. I left it with Alan, so you can take a look at it.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah.
I have it on
It's
flash
on
drive. I didn't put it on the computer because I didn't want to add any more. We have so much stuff on
So you
there.
have it on a flash drive then?
Yeah. Like I could put it in that, but only it's like 11 gigabytes of stuff. There's from
we will
next
cut,
week we could.
Yeah, we're gonna cut
it.
some of that and show you what we were in next week.
I mean, we even have, like he was telling us in the truck, from the last week? 2 weeks ago?
3 weeks? 2 weeks?
Three weeks ago.
Okay.
3 weeks ago.
And we lost some cameras.
Right.
And the place was destroyed where we were gifting.
Right.
Where
Everything, all the wood was gone.
Yeah. So we have video where you can see how it looked before, and then comparison video what it looks like now. So I mean, we could even show a little bit of that too, because that's interesting too. Still, to me. I mean, what in the heck happened over there?
Now, for years since I've been doing this, I've had reports of weird stuff happening along the Kings River, you guys. And the Kings River goes a long ways for all those who follow it from Pine Flat down through the Avocado Lake, through Sanger, through the River Bend, all the way south. All the way to south. We've had reports of UFO activities along this area.
Pterodactyls.
And a lot of...
At least 5 of those.
And a lot of Bigfoots.
Yeah.
A lot of Sasquatch activity. Why? I don't know. Sasquatch, I can pretty much tell you, it's because they're hungry. They're coming down here for food.
There is nothing in the mountains right now. The trees are dead. Everything's dead. The drought, this man-made drought thing, is killing everything up there.
Now, And I know there's a lot of people saying, bullshit. There's no Bigfoots near Sanger or near Delray or near, Reedley or Orange Cove. How do you know? You are not in the position where we are at. If you were, if your specialty was, I don't know, a lawyer or a doctor, you would hear about all the new illnesses that are coming out, the new cancers and stuff, and because that's your profession. You hear about all that, okay? Because you have a full-time job. If you're a police officer or a lawyer, you go to your job, you come home, that's your life, your family life. That's what you do. We do something totally different here. I have a full-time job, but what we do here runs more of my life than you think.
Yeah, it does.
Okay? I am constantly 24/7, 365 a year paranormal, meaning I talk to people call me about situations that you would only dream about in books and in movies. We hear it firsthand. And it's because, like I said, I've been doing this for 14 years. Why do we get all these calls? Because I have the freaking 24-hour paranormal hotline that has been in existence for 14 years that I pay out of my own freaking pocket, monthly payments for this phone number. People now know who I am. They talk about me. So when somebody is at a party and say, man, I was over here and I saw this, dude, you need to call Jeffrey. You need to call him. Here's his number. Call him. All right? That's why we're getting all these calls, because of this.
And there's a lot of them are good ones. There is some bad ones, but
it's not. It's just not Bigfoot, you guys.
No.
It is UFOs. It is freaking little things running around people's yards. Isaac, when we were at in the mountains with him and his family 3 months ago or whatever it was, your cousin was there, and your cousin, Jeff, you got to see this photograph my cousin took on his phone, and he showed it to me. It's a freaking pterodactyl.
A pterodactyl,
right?
Sure is.
And I have it on my phone, guys. I have a pterodactyl picture on my phone. I have not released it yet because it's a second generation copy. And I told you today when we were having lunch that I really cannot confirm this yet. It's your cousin. I'm not going to say he's lying. He put us up to it, but and I asked you when we were waiting outside on the sidewalk to go eat. I said, dude, would your cousin pull a prank like this? Would he fake this just to give it to us? And you said no. I mean, you believe your cousin. And because, we have talked about pterodactyls, and there's another name for it. I slipped in my mind. My wife always tells me, or a
pterosaur.
A pterosaur. Thank you. There are many people who are witnessing these type of birds in the sky.
Everywhere, too.
Okay? It is just not one person, but it's a trippy that your cousin, and the reason why we brought this up is because where we ate today, it was right half a block away where your cousin took the photograph.
Exactly.
Okay? And it's like a pterosaurus is like, really, in downtown Fresno? Give me a effing break. But then you have to, again, I'm trying to debunk this while I'm talking to you. I'm still trying to debunk this. We looked up, we can zoom in on this picture. It's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Now, over Fresno, California, it's a dinosaur. Now, when you first gave me this picture and I got home, I started doing research. Okay, somebody's flying a remote control dinosaur around the neighborhood, or it's a kite. I did research and I tried pulling up anything that looked like what you gave me, but the picture that you gave me, it's so precise. It's so, perfect.
Yeah.
Meaning, if it was a remote control pterodactyl, I have seen them on Amazon and on hobby, they look absolutely ridiculous, not look like the real thing. It's like the flaps go like this, on the bird beak is so retarded. It's like, it doesn't even look anything like this. Okay, so it's a kite, but even a kite is not 3D like the photograph, the dimension,
have the look of it.
That you gave me. And I'm going, okay.
Plus, you have to think about the year, right, of when the photo was taken.
2012. Okay, so
there wasn't like when I went back and I started I was researching the actual what they had in 2012 pterodactyl stuff.
Right.
It was even cheesier than the one they have today, which is even 100 times better than the 2012 one.
Okay. So I'm going. Again, I'm trying to debunk this. Okay, so we are in a poor neighborhood, per se. Okay. And I'm thinking, if somebody would have built one of these things and spent thousands and thousands of dollars, they would not be flying it over Essayville. You follow me? Yeah. Okay, they would be flying it north of Fresno at Woodward Park, at River Park area, at one of Clovis West, football fields. They would not be flying it over Belmont Avenue. So you have to take all that into consideration. Now, so I went there. I worked for AT&T. So I was driving down Belmont, and I said, "Holy crap! Here's the spot where he took the photograph."
I'm only a block away. Let me go check it out.
So I'm looking at where he took the photograph, and right away I'm going, "No way!" So I drive over there. So where he took this photograph of this bird, right underneath, is where this. It's a full block, really. Long of now emptiness. There's nothing there. But what used to be there, it used to be like, and I don't want to say warehouses, but
wasn't it like
sheds.
A lumber mill?
Lumber mill or shed.
Mm-hmm. Or they stored the lumber from the mill.
Maybe that's where it was. Okay, but
because when I was a little kid, I actually lived right there.
Okay, and I think that's what it was. So this thing was flying right over that, and when he told me the year the year and the month, October 2012. So I said to myself, shut the hell up, because that whole place burned down the same month and year as your friend took that photograph. And I'm going, okay, what if this thing was living in those abandoned sheds or warehouses, and there was a lot of homeless people, and somebody called somebody about it, and they came in, and the thing was living in there.
Or it could have been eating people or taking them, and the cops will be like, okay, there's a serial killer or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They're finding dead bodies.
And then they go over there and find eaten people, kind of eaten, and then find that.
Right. And so the government comes in, and they torch the place because it all burned down. It's all gone now. It's all gone.
Almost like the same thing they're doing to the Kings River, I think.
Right.
They're going to certain areas by Avocado Lake and some other places,
and they're lighting
and they're setting it on fire down in the river bottom
to get rid of the heavy brush so nothing can hide in it.
That's right. It moves those on away from the people.
That's right. Yeah. So you have to take all that into consideration when we are given a picture of a freaking pterodactyl, or we get a call like what we just got a call last week and we investigated this weekend, and then all of a sudden we see something running with speeds that a human cannot possibly have in a pitch black dark river bottom on the sand.
Plus, see, that guy had a video. That's what got me, because I've been getting stories of a white Bigfoot all up through from Dinky Creek Burl Valley, Watts Valley, all down through that Pine Flat, And then he shows this video, and I mean it's blurry a little bit, but it was a big white thing.
I'm going to show you. You know what? You know what? My phone is going cuckoo, and I think I'm losing all my pictures.
Really?
Something broken in, but he sent me that video on email. So what I'm going to do right now, you guys, is I'm going to go ahead. Okay. Last week, the guy who called me about possibly Sasquatches in the Kings River, he sent me a video, email. And all it shows, it's something crawling and moving in the nectarine orchards across the street. He said it was a Sasquatch, and he sent it to me. It was moving. So what I'm going to do right now, if you
and
guys,
it was white.
You bear with me. I'm going to pull it up on my AOL account right now, and I'm going to show you that video. Is that cool? So be cool right now with me. Let me
see now, like in chat, CD Squatcher says hunters report that they like to eat deer liver. Okay, now my tribal connections, like my tribe and some of the tribes around here, when they hunt deer in areas where there's Sasquatch, they leave the liver, the heart, and maybe one other piece of the best part of the deer for the Sasquatch. Well-known thing in Native American. And that's everywhere, too.
You've got mail.
California all the way to everywhere they're at.
I'll definitely remember to do that if I ever take out a deer again.
Well, I know, like, from, and this is more native lore, that if you don't, right, they will come in and they'll rob your camp.
Holy crap, you guys! I actually did it for you guys. All right, I'm gonna show it to you.
See, now it's not as close up as I thought it was. I on his phone it was little. Okay, now we're on this big old screen. Oh my God, I'm gonna freak.
Okay, all right. What I'm gonna do is he took this across the street and he said he saw a Sasquatch. What he described to us is these things are crawling all over the ground out there.
You want to turn the sound down on it all the way, because I think it blew their ears out.
Oh, the thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You've got mail. No.
Got it.
I don't know what it was. Yeah, it was you've got mail.
You got mail?
Yeah.
It's right here. I thought it was. Yeah, it's in silence.
Really?
Okay. You won't hear anything here. So, all right. So let me get rid of the. If I can get rid of the mail. Yep. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm gonna play it all the way through. It's not very long, like a couple of seconds or whatever. But I'm gonna circle it with my mouse so you can see what I'm talking about. Here you go. Right about here. Oh no, there it went. Okay.
See, that's not a cat.
Hold on.
It's way bigger than a cat. It does look like a Bigfoot.
Oh, right there. Oh, it's fucking walking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. You went to
See, on your phone,
once you get it on that bigger screen, oh wow, look at that.
Okay.
It's like sneaking in there.
And it's white.
Yeah. No wonder the guy's so scared.
Okay. Let me do it again.
Holy cow.
See, I was only looking at the bottom part, and I know it's probably going so fast, so I have to do it a lot of times, so bear with me. You see it right there?
Yeah, you know what? It looked like he put the camera on it. As soon as he put the camera on it, it saw the camera and started moving away.
Yeah. That would be par for the course for these guys.
Okay. I'm going to keep doing it for you guys.
The one way to make them disappear is put a light or a camera, man. They will fly.
Oh, wait. You got they're not seeing it. Oh, yeah. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, we're cool. Okay. See, you can look. These are all nectarine trees across, and you can see the Kings River probably in the back of it. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna show. So right here.
There he goes, right there.
Did you see it move? Okay. Now see the trees way back there.
That's the river.
That's the river. That's the Kings River. Okay, so let me go back again. So at 1920. So it's walking. That's what it's. See, I've never seen it this large. I've always seen it on my cell phone.
Right.
Me too. I thought it was rolling.
I thought it was rolling, but it looked like it's actually walking, and it's white. Watch, right here. That's the feet, right?
No, it looks like the shoulders and head.
Well, okay, what? See, that's the bottom, though, isn't it? Because...
Kind of freeze it if you can.
Okay.
On it. Okay, you can see his head. He's peeking
Where?
right there.
That's his head?
No.
Below that.
Don't-
Right there. Right there.
That's
right
his
where you have
head.
it.
That's
Yes.
his head?
Yeah.
Exactly. It looked like it poked up and then just kept walking.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Not kidding. He's
No.
probably
He's
down.
looking.
He's hiding behind that thing,
Okay, so
staring
you-
at that guy.
So you guys see that right
Exactly.
there?
yeah.
I see. I'm seeing totally something different. Okay.
Oh, you're seeing the one behind it.
No, I'm seeing that. So you're saying that he was looking right in there. All right, let's go back. Right there. See, it moved from right to left, but so you're saying that's his head? I don't see a head.
That's his head. And his shoulders. You can see it good when he moves, but then he moves behind the stuff and then you can't see him. He stands up too. All the way up.
He gets up. It's like as soon as he puts a camera on him, he's spotted and he moves.
Yeah, like he's
Really?
down low and
Yeah.
kneeled down right there, but then as soon as he gets behind that down tree, he stands all the way up. You can see him rise up, see?
I don't see him rise up. What are you talking
That kind of
about?
looks like his back.
Yeah.
Like as soon as he look, turn, and then
See, right now he's just going to move a bit left. Now he's standing straight up, and that's what you're seeing move up into the trees. He's standing up. He's huge. See, now we're going to have to do a size comparison with us and see how big that is.
Well, see, this sucker's white though.
Yep.
He's-
And that gets me excited. I've been hunting this dude
I just
for
saw
years.
something over here. Now I got chills. Okay, he's way over there. Look over here. There's something else moving over here.
Whoa.
Look.
Almost like a cloaked one.
Look. No, it's there's more than one. Right there. Did you see that?
Yeah. Wow. It's a black one, huh?
Well,
They're
I
harder
saw
to see.
it's right. Oh, you know what? Maybe it was one of those. Because there are reflector thingies out there.
Yeah. Oh, it might be a reflector.
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. Never mind. I'm smoking crack, guys. All right. But I don't see though. There he is, right there.
See, now he turns, he goes to the left, now he stands straight up right there.
Do it again.
And you can even see him hunkered down. Whoa, man! You
Really?
can see his whole butt and everything.
How come I
on
can't?
that
How come
right
I
there.
can't make it out then?
Dude,
Well, let's
that's-
see if we can see him. I'm letting it go to the end, guys. Hold on. Now, let's try it again.
he's trying to freak out, man. You can tell by. Whoa.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he
dude.
was kneeling
Yeah,
down
he was
and he
kneeling
was
down.
looking, and then he spots them looking at him, and he starts moving to the left. Holy crap! You guys seeing this?
yeah, he's trying to get more into that brush.
Are you guys seeing that? You guys?
See now, all the reports I've gotten from him, and I've got some from Native Americans on a reservation and all around the reservation from other people, and all down some of my kids' friends, they say that Bigfoot is 6.5 feet tall.
You guys see that?
That's what they say.
There he goes. He's moving to the left. He's a white dude.
Yeah.
This guy
white
is
one.
white, okay? Now let's stop. If this guy was trying to pull a fast one on us, he would not have somebody dressed in a white getup. You follow me?
And there wouldn't be anybody sneaking around in there.
Right. This is all barbed wire fence.
Yeah.
This is off limits.
And nobody's really been in there. I looked for evidence, man. We split up and went down through there with a fine-tooth comb trying to find evidence. Footprints, tire tracks,
Oh my God! See,
anything, right? And we couldn't find.
I'm tripping this.
There was nothing.
This is like the first time I have seen this. It feels like this is the first time I've seen this, only because
It's
I've never
bigger.
seen it big like this.
Yeah, me too.
It's always on a cell phone.
It's big.
Yeah, you can see it definitely moving.
Yeah, that is a good shot too. Oh my God.
It's white.
Yeah, it is.
It's white, you guys.
Yeah.
This thing is white. And it's walking on two legs. I see it going like
Yeah,
this. I see it move. You guys see that?
Yeah, it's standing up right there. It's starting to stand up and take off.
You guys see this?
See what he's doing. See, he pans from the left to the right. As soon as he gets to it, it's like, I've been made. I better move.
Yeah,
And it moves.
that's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, and he thinks it's going to move really fast. So
Oh,
he moves the
check it out,
camera.
check it out, check it out. It looked like as soon as he moved the camera to the right, it knelt down. There, it knelt down. And then it got back up.
Yeah.
Watch. See, it went back down. You see it? Look, it went down.
Oh, it went down. Yeah, to
You see
hide.
it? It went down.
And then he put the camera on it. And
See,
then
it went down. You see it?
Dude, there is another one in there.
Is that what that is right there?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
No, I think.
See it? It peaked. It's peaking.
Are you sure that's what? Because that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that.
See, that's
But
one,
see, but
that-
see,
I
there's
think
no
that's one.
wind. Do you guys see that? It's kneeling, it knelt down. Boom! It sees it. It gets up and it starts walking to the left. There it is again. See it? Holy crap, you guys!
It might be a bird. Because it's only just a little spot.
But those papers
But it-
with the reflectors are moving around. That's what that
Yeah.
might be.
let's go
Could
back
be.
tonight, Jeffrey. Let's
Fuck
go.
you. Oh, excuse me.
Man, I'm staying in the truck. I can't walk.
There it is. You see it? See, guys? You guys see this? We're not pulling your effing legs here, guys.
I'm ready to do it again next week, but I'm done for this week.
Next week we can do it. I have to take my son to a birthday party on Saturday, but we can do it at night or early morning hours. But see, okay, there it is again. Okay, let's see if we can see anything
Man,
else.
there might be two of them right there.
I was
Jeff,
thinking, you know
right
what?
now.
We're focusing on that. Let's.
We need to go running it at slower speeds.
How do you do that?
We have to download it and put it in something so I can slow it down.
Okay, let's look around. And I'm pretty sure that our fans could spot something because I'm everybody's got to be seeing that right there.
Yeah.
That right there. Well, see, each tree has a paper on it, you guys, with a reflector on it, and I guess it's to scare the birds.
Yeah.
I think that's what that does, so they doesn't eat the fruit. But see, it's walking. It took one step, two steps.
Yeah.
It's-
You see, and
it's
you know what?
definitely moving out the way.
He has more video too. He told me he did.
Well, didn't he give it to? Oh, we didn't get it.
Mm-mm. He said he had a lot more. We might have to go take a trip and see him.
And it's like we don't have to drive 2 hours.
Thank God.
It would only take us
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
You guys see
You
this?
don't even finish your egg McMuffin.
You guys see that?
You know.
We're not effing with you guys right now, okay, guys? You guys are seeing this for the first time. And we're telling you the reason why we were there is because he is seeing Sasquatches in the fields across the street from his house. And the Kings River is there. We saw something last night on the Fleur. And it was trippy because it was so bright and white. Maybe because it was this white one.
Yeah.
Want to see it again, guys? I'm just going to keep playing it because I know you guys are tripping. But
I'm tripping.
This is why...
Yes.
There he goes. There he goes.
There he goes, and that's what I said.
Exactly. There he goes.
There he goes. Look, you see, he's stepping. He's
Yeah.
walking.
Uh-huh.
The son of a bitch is walking. Look, he gets up, 1 foot, two, boom.
yeah.
He's stepping away to the left. He's kneeling down. He's looking at him right now. Oops, he sees me.
Yes.
There he goes.
You can see him go down and then back up. once
Yeah.
he's
See, boom, he went down right there.
Right there.
See, boom, he went
Down.
down right there.
Hit.
See, boom, he went down right there. And he's looking right there. I mean, that is
And-
that could be his fucking face. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm getting excited. That could be his face
It is his face.
right there. That is his face.
That's
Because
his
when he
face right there.
turns, he turns
And
and,
then he
he looks
turns.
that way and
Yeah,
goes that
and
way.
he's looking at what's his name right now taking the video. That's his face.
That's
Yep.
his face.
That is his face, you guys.
Man, I'm gonna have to figure out how to zoom in on this.
I need to send you this via email so you can take it.
Okay.
But that is his face. He goes down. Look. Boom. He goes down. He's looking at him. Oh, crap. He spots me. I get up, start walking away.
That's this part right here, head and shoulder
You think so?
turning. Because once you see the head and shoulder just turning
Yeah, but as he stands up, you can see his butt.
right there.
And you know what? If you look at top, you can see
His head's
his
way
head
up
is
there.
way up
yeah.
there. Let me see, where's he at? Right up there. And that's the top of the tree line.
Yeah.
That's the top of the tree line, guys. We're talking 10 feet, 11 feet tall. All right, let me see if I can. Hold on. My wife just texted me. Maybe because I'm cussing too much. No, that's high. The top of the tree. Those are nectarine trees, you guys. We walked in there, and the nectarine trees were.
They're 3 feet higher than me, and I'm 5.
Yeah, I'm that.
So they're like 8 and 9
yeah,
feet.
those are nectarine trees. So those are about 10 feet,
Yeah.
9 or 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Probably 9 feet, you guys. That's how tall those trees are at. Okay. But see, if you look up here, I think I see a little bit of the head on top of the tree line. Now, let me tell you something. What he also told us, he said that see this fence right here, you guys. There's a road there, and his house is where he's shooting it. Anyways, he said there was a lady walking some dogs on the street, and one of those trees started to shake. One of these nectarine trees started to shake. The whole tree started to shake. And he said he heard a growl. The lady stopped and saw the tree shake and scared them and the dogs. And she started running towards him where he was at. And then she goes to him, "Did you just see that?" And he goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "That was weird," and just kept on going. Because, what are you going to say it was? He's not going to, "Oh, by the way, that was a Bigfoot." Trust me when I say, see his head is up. I can see movement on top. Because it's white, I can see on top, right here. I see a little bit in there. So his head is almost at the top of that tree line.
And that's on YouTube, or is it?
No.
No?
This is private. He gave me this by itself.
Oh, okay.
He sent it to me. This is one of the videos he has on his camera.
Man, I want to see some more. Man.
He says he has a lot more.
Yeah. Well, it's been scaring him, like for a while now. Like running on his roof. He says. The little ones hold hands and run. He said that fence right there, they hurdle it. They just like hurdle the fence. I was tripping, the way he was describing what they do.
And I don't think he has someone in there with a costume running around.
No,
there.
and
He
not a
was
white
way
one.
Too scared.
And you have to understand.
He was way too scared.
He was
to
way
even
too
go
scared.
in there.
Trust me when I say this, you guys. This guy doesn't have any money.
No.
Okay, and he is not going to go get a white costume, Bigfoot costume, because you just don't do that. Trust me when I say. Okay, you guys have to understand. Trust me, I tried debunking even the thing out in the river. Let me see if I can stop it when it walks to the left.
See, now you should be able to grab the end of the red bar, and you can slide it back and forth right where you want it. You know what I mean? Like right at the time that you want it.
I can see the head of it right there.
Yeah.
Right there, moved away.
See, and then you see its butt. It stands all the way up, and you see its butt.
That's what I sort of.
See right there.
Well,
his butt is what goes out of view last.
and okay. Apparently, right now, Cheryl is saying that a lot of people in chat are saying it's probably a cat or a dog. No, because it stands up.
Look how far away it is from him. That's far. That's like
Yeah, that's
6 rows of trees away from
no,
him.
that's probably more than that. And
Yeah.
a cat would be very, very tiny.
Yeah, it would.
And where its head is about halfway up the tree.
Yeah, that ain't no cat.
Yeah.
See, but I see something up here too when it's walking away.
He was saying, he told us his cat likes it. And it likes his cat. He said the cat would be going, do they eat cats? He asked me. I'm like, yeah, they could. They're protein. And then the next thing he says is, well, I think it likes my cat, and my cat likes it.
I wonder if he has his cat food outside.
The
Maybe
cat
they share.
goes, maybe, sure, the cat food. Like, stupid Bigfoot, he just went. Yeah. But, yeah, he asked me about the cat. And the cat, like, you guys went walking down there the other night, it was last night. And I stayed back at the truck because I can't see where the trees are way back there.
That's how far we walked with the food, guys. You see that? Those tree lines back there? That's the river. We walked. Actually, the fence was open. So the lock wasn't locked. So we took the lock off and we walked all the way. That's about.
It's far.
It's about 500 yards.
It's far when you're carrying a lot of food.
It felt like a half a mile to me, but only on the way back I could barely walk. So I let you guys do it, and then that cat was coming to me. It was coming up to me.
I saw that last night. Yeah, that cat was like hanging out with you.
Yeah,
in
when
the
you guys
car field.
came back, it was over by me. The cat was hanging out with me.
See, what I see is I see the left leg come up as it's walking away. Right there. The leg went up.
Yeah, and part of its butt going by.
Watch. Right there is boom, that's his foot.
His foot?
That's his foot. His foot's going up. Watch. Boom. It went in at an angle as he's walking away. Right there. Watch. I'll see if I can stop it. Boom.
That's on his foot.
That's not his foot.
That's like his butt, his shoulder, and part of his thigh.
I see it at an angle like it's going up. Watch. I don't know. See, I don't know.
See, that's this side of him right here, like this. And he turns, and then he just walks. As he moves, he starts, standing up. And he's big. He's really big.
Huh.
Is
Is that enough, you guys? I'm going to go ahead and just stop it right there. This is the stuff we're getting. I mean, the pterodactyl, I can't show you the pterodactyl because
we haven't we
that
haven't researched it enough.
That
yet
is something
to say.
that is TV material. The pterodactyl picture. Now, Isaac says he can get me the original. Or he's going to try to get me the original. I gave the picture to Mickey Burrow, our CSI guy from
He's
law
our
enforcement
CSI guy.
and he couldn't distinguish if it was real or not because he needs the original. Because the timestamp on it and all that, he needs all that in order for him to make a judgment on it. That's why I haven't really said anything about that pterodactyl photograph. So if you can't get the original, then I probably won't show it to TV because it's who has a picture of a pterodactyl? People are going to make fun of us because
Even more.
we have, our credibility is where it's at because I don't release stuff unless I know it's factual. Even though I know you, Isaac,
Yeah.
and if your cousin said it's the real thing, I need to prove that the picture has not been altered.
Oh yeah, and I've given you that photo months ago.
Right.
You've seen it months ago, and you haven't even shown it.
No,
So
I've told
you're
people.
Still trying to debunk it.
I'm trying to debunk it. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get. I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
I got-
Even though where it was filmed and all the stuff that I've told everybody about that area, the odds are now increasing in the favor of
If it being real.
Being real, but still it's not good enough for me to say I need to see the original so Mickey can put it into his computer system and bring it out, because when you take a copy of a copy, it gets pixelated, it gets, you can tell if it's been, so he needs the original. So please see if you can get that original.
I'm going to work on it
I
tonight.
want that to be on one of my episodes for TV. I mean, we have to show people and get Mickey in here to say, all right, I got the original picture. It was not altered. This is for real. And it has to come out of his mouth, because he has it. I cannot say it's real. It has to come out of his mouth to say it's real. And I'm not going to say it's real unless he says it's real. That's just the way I am, you guys. All right. This is the way I play the game. I don't put crap up unless I know it's real, because I don't want people. All it takes is one time to put something out and we hoaxed you. That wasn't real. I can't afford that to happen to me. It's just me. All right. Again, I showed you this video right now because, am I saying that's a Sasquatch? You have to understand why we're there in the first place. Okay. What Isaac and I saw last night on the floor, it blew me away. It did. I'm still trying to debunk it, even right now as we sit here.
He has a hard time believing stuff, even with his own eyes.
I mean, sorry guys, that's just me. All right.
Until he sees it like fur and like chasing him, then he might like quit that.
Then I'll say okay.
Yeah.
All right, but
he'll be laying in the hospital going, "It was a Bigfoot."
So it takes a lot to convince me. All right, and so far we've gotten great pieces of evidence so far.
Yeah,
and it's awesome. And
we even have from a couple of years ago, not far from there, or along that same river corridor, tracks casted in oranges, tangerines.
Right. And we showed them here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
16-inch down in the river valley in February.
Oh no! That was, you're talking about the guy across the street in the orchard.
Yeah.
That wasn't the river though. That was just tangerines.
Yeah, but it's not far.
No, not at all. No.
It's the same, like they have these little creeks and stuff like that feed that, and it was off of one of those little creeks that goes to that same river. You know what I mean? And we've been, and all up and down through there, we've been getting these reports of, like Danny was saying, is that near where somebody said that heard like a pig was being killed? And I don't know. I haven't heard that one yet about that.
I think I just lost all my pictures on my phone.
Really?
I hope not.
The governments don't like you, huh? Because usually they're all backed up on the cloud. It automatically backs them up.
Okay, then they'll be on my cloud then.
Yeah.
Because I pay for that.
And then you have it. Then it automatically makes copies over it. Should.
Okay. All right, that's cool. Okay, so I'll have to. What it is I need to probably go on the computer and go to iCloud and see if they're all in there.
Yeah.
Right? And if they're all in there, I haven't updated my software on here, and that's probably why it's freaking out.
Yeah.
So I need to update the software and then re-download them, I guess. I pay 99 cents a month for it to save everything to iCloud. Okay. Because there's just stuff on there too that I have from people that I still haven't verified if it's real yet, and I need to show that stuff too. So it's like, okay. All right. Well, it's 8:00
already. man, the last hour went really fast because we're in my territory. Yeah. But my feet feel like it's time to go home.
So, okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys. This is the stuff we're getting. If you don't believe us, I don't know why you're watching. There are other shows out there on the internet that you can go and listen to and watch. I and bringing you the real stuff. As God is my witness, it's this stuff I am not making up. And
it sure is fun, man.
And this is
fun.
what my TV show is going to be about. Danny Valderrama says, "Oh, sorry."
And I've been with you a few times, and you've bled for Bigfoot. I've
that's
seen blood come out of your body.
Isaiah's like, man, he bleeds for Bigfoot.
Yeah, he sure does.
He was even saying that last night.
You almost
he bleeds
lost
for Bigfoot.
You almost
man.
lost your eye for Bigfoot.
When you and I saw that thing and I moved it and the tree blocked it and I didn't see it, I started running. I could have fell down the river.
It was pitch black. You took off jamming. You were running. As fast as that Bigfoot was running, you were running.
He could have even fell and been impaled on one of those logs.
Oh, it was. We didn't know where we were at.
You didn't know about the logs till today.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there
I
looking,
looked at
going,
that,
"Oh
going,
my god!"
I could have tripped on that.
Yeah, it was pretty dangerous.
Yeah. So, who doesn't dig this stuff? I mean, you're freaking out over there. It's like you're constantly thanking us, buying us breakfast and dinner and lunch, and it's like, dude, I can't believe.
I really appreciate
people. People would die to be in our position.
Yeah, and to go in the places
the places we go.
Yeah,
and we're gonna do that, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to blindfold your ass. And take away your phones.
Put a bag over your head.
Okay.
A sock in your mouth. No.
Because we cannot allow hundreds and hundreds. If we tell you where this is at, you guys would be swarming this place tomorrow.
And the people would not like it, and the Bigfoots would go away.
Yes. And
then
I
we
can't
wouldn't have
do that.
anything to look at.
Yeah.
Go after.
Right. And so now, what is our next step here? Well, cameras.
Mm-hmm.
It's camera time. It is freaking camera time. Not here in the orchard, but where we left the food and down in the river and the spots. We could put cameras all over the freaking place in there. And now I'm going to have to figure out a way to drill the hell out of it and secure it. You can buy actually now, they're like steel boxes that you drill into the wood. And then you open it up and you put the camera in there and you close it up and you put a padlock. You can buy those now for certain cameras. That's what I'm going to have to do.
So they would have to like hammer them or pry bar them off
if it's a human being.
Right.
If it was a Sasquatch trying to rip it off, I don't think they could. They could climb up there and get on it and do this. The question is, would they? Do they know what they are?
To get it, they'd have to break the tree. I mean, like, tear the tree down and drag the tree away.
They
could do
that, definitely.
Yeah. So that is going to be our next thing then, is here where we saw this white one, and I'm going to say the white one, it was probably a white one last night because it was glowing white. Time to get some cameras and put them up. That is our next step, because we can't find footprints because of the sand. Everybody and their mother was out there, if you're fishing or whatever. There's so many places to hide in there.
Oh my God!
We're gonna show you. We're gonna show you the video next week that Isaac took on his GoPro, and show you. It's another world. It's another world.
We didn't check the food this morning because none of us wanted to walk that.
No,
far.
I didn't. And you know what? It's even if the food was gone,
we don't know exactly.
We saw raccoon prints. We saw dog, would look like mountain lion print. So,
Bobcat.
The reason why
the freaking raccoon prints were big as my hand.
Well, not that big.
I mean, they were huge.
They were big.
Yeah.
But the reason why we took the foot out there, guys, is to show them, because I have a feeling they were watching us, and when we placed the food there on the floor, on the ground, I got the spotlight and I shined it at my face, and I took an apple and I bit it a couple times, and I laid it down. I got some grapes. I ate the grape, and I showed them that, look, I'm eating this food. It's not poison. It's for you. And Isaac did the same thing. That's the reason why we do this, is to show them that we ate it. It's okay for you to eat. We were just leaving it there as an offering because they probably saw us walking around, walking in there, doing our crap. and they could have probably been freaking 10 feet in underneath. Because, like I said, it's the swamps of Louisiana. It's what this remind me of. It's just a trip. You would never know this existed in the valley floor of Fresno, right? And it's a beautiful place for anything to hide. If you were a murderer, if you had killed a lot of people, and if you wanted to go away and hide, you can do it in here.
Yeah, you just be Bigfoot food. Yeah.
All right. So, on that note, thank you guys for showing up. We're going to be back next week. We're going to show you some more video of the place. Maybe we might get out there and do it again. Hopefully we'll get something. Thanks, Isaac, for coming on with us. And we'll guys, for Jeffrey Gonzalez, Alan, and Isaac, we'll guys see you next week. All right? Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas, broadcasting worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies, and we hope you witness something you cannot explain.